Hello again, welcome back to Massey Manor. It's time for some midweek Massey. And I said in the last episode I'll see you Wednesday. I meant to say Thursday. So this isn't a day late. Thursday is the day for midweek Massey. And today we're going to be doing a little bit of field work. And we're going to use our Tract 200 series. Now I absolutely love this little thing. Oops. I love the controls. With a if we go into outside the cab view, you'll notice that the arms do actually turn the levers. You get a weird kind of visual glitch where the levers seem to slip through the fingers a little bit, but you do actually see some movement in the operator arms, which I think is a really nice little touch. So really pleased to see that. We're going to do some ploughing, so I'm actually going to remove the cage as well because we don't need it yet. It's not going to cost us anything to make these changes to the vehicle because we own the cage now, so we can put it back on whenever we want to. Let me just park that up there. So let's remove the cover. If we want to put the sunshade on, that's going to cost us €1,000. We're just going to go with standard for now. So let's customize that. There we go. Now, can I get on this without... There we go. Without closing the door. So there we go. Look at this. Our lovely little Tract 200 series. Let's grab the plough. And we'll start with this field just here. So we'll put in a little sort of headland on the end here just to try and make sure that we're getting full coverage with the plough. It's quite a tricky field, this one. Workers absolutely hate this field. You know, they constantly stop in the strangest places. So this is really a field that you have to do manually. I mean, with this series, I know in the past I've always said I'll try and do stuff manually and end up using workers quite a lot on some farms. On this one, I am going to really try and be very, very sparing with the worker use. I'm going to try and do a lot of it myself. You'll notice that our money hasn't really changed at all since we started. You know, the previous episode. You know, we're still at €6,500. Obviously, we've lost a couple of euros here and there, just from maintenance fees that go out throughout the day. But I'm going to try and do as much of this series as I can, at least in these early stages, with zero worker input. Try and do it all as manually for you all. And this curve here is another reason why this is a bit of a tricky field. It's another reason why the workers absolutely hate this field as well. You'll see them, you've got all these sort of like posts around the edge of the field for lamp posts and signposts, and we've obviously got the river at one end, we've got this road being quite tight here on the other end. We're actually missing little gaps in the middle here. A little tricky to tell because of the tracks covering up, but we are not getting full coverage with the plough there, so there we go, that's a bit better. But with all these posts and with the road being so tight on this side, of course, you know, the river on the far end, I say the river, the stream on the other end as well, workers just really do not like this field, so they'll stop a good way down the field. It can be really frustrating if you're trying to, you know, save a bit of time and you want to hire a worker. Just don't even think about it on this field. You'll end up having to do so much of it yourself manually that you may as well just save yourself the money and do the whole thing. again. We've missed, I think, a thin line. This is the only downside to having a plough that's only 2 meters in width like this, is that it's inside the tracks of the the vehicle that's pulling it, either the tracks or the wheels. So it becomes very difficult to actually see whether or not you are ploughing in a straight line or not, and whether you're actually covering the entire gap. You've got to be really careful. Let's do another line on this end as well, just so we've got a bit of turning room. There we go. But I mean, I love this. It's a really minimalist cab, as you'd expect for something that's so old. And this is what, a 1970s piece of equipment, I think, maybe 1980s. I think 1970s. So really basic, but it does the job. Alright, so let's try and go up the field now. Just looking to see if we are leaving any gaps. I think we're doing pretty well actually on this one. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. So I'm going to carry on ploughing this field up, and I will catch up with you in just a moment. So what I'm finding is a pretty good reference point as to where I need to be is to line up my track with, the track print from the previous pass, like that. So you can see I'm just running my my track over the print of the track I left on the way down, and that seems to work as a really good sort of guideline as to where you need to be on your next pass down the field. So as I turn around again, I'll do exactly the same. I'll line up my track on the print of the track from the previous pass. And then just drive down the field like that. There we go. And I say this seems to be working really well as a good guide point as to where I need to position myself. So if we check the coverage map to see how well I'm doing, you'll see apart from this tiny little red spot here, those last two passes that we've done, we have no red line showing through, which indicates that we are ploughing the everything. We're not leaving strips of unploughed ground in between on each pass. So yeah, little helpful tip there for you there if you're using the this sort of combination of equipment, same as I am, is to line up your track with your track print. So there we go, we finished the field. Let's just check to see how well we actually did. Just a couple of thin spots there that we missed. Let's see if we can find those. Okay, so it looks like we're actually on top of one right now. Oh, I bet it's that little clip just there, look. Right in front of the tractor there. There we go. Yeah, that was it. And there's a tiny spot. I'm not worried about the spot. So there we go. First field has been ploughed. Now it's time to move on to the big one. Field 4. This one is going to take an eternity to get done. It's one of the downsides to having this small equipment, is that it's going to take us a long time to get our jobs done. But it's par for the course, unfortunately, when you have small equipment. It means that even a simple job like this is going to take you a long time. So let's see, it's 9:27 now as we start. Let's see what time it is. Or 9:28, it's just clicked over. Let's see what time it is when we finish ploughing this field, because it's gonna be a while. So we're what, just over 10 minutes in, and so far we've done a few passes going up this side and a few passes going along here. Still a lot of the field to do. I reckon we're looking at around half an hour of ploughing, maybe a little bit longer. Am I leaving gaps? How am I doing? Doing pretty well. It doesn't look as though we're leaving any real gaps, so I'm going to carry on ploughing away, and I'll catch up with you in a little while. Well, when I said that we were looking at maybe half an hour's worth of ploughing on this field, I think I was being a little optimistic. As you can see, we're almost at half an hour already, and we still have a lot of this field to plough. So we've done over half of it, I would say. The biggest chunk of it is almost finished, but we do still have an awful lot of ground left to do. So maybe 50 minutes. Let's see if we can get it done in 50 minutes. So this is the final pass that we need to finish this field off, and yeah, even 50 minutes was a little bit optimistic. It's taken us just shy of an hour. We are what, a minute and a half away from hitting the hour mark. So there we go. This field is done. Have I left any red spots anywhere? Nope, I've been good. So there we go. Another field is done. Now, I do want to expand my land. I've got a couple of grass fields around, but with the inclusion of the large field G11, we don't need G1 or G2. So I'm going to plough these out as well. Now, these don't actually have straight borders, or not properly straight. So I need to try and just basically drive in a straight line here and just tag the edge of the field. Now I could cultivate this just to remove the grass and then plant on it, but it's going to need ploughing, and because I'm not going to go through the process of mowing this field. Look, they've got a tree in the way there, look. Try and make my way around that tree. We're definitely going to have a lot of trees that need to be removed as we progress with this farm. And you can see how close that one is. That one actually is right on the very, very border of the field by the look of it. Yeah, look at that. You see, I'm over the border. That tree's definitely going to have to come off. There's going to be a few of them. They're going to need to be removed, but we're going to rip this field up, and then we'll have another nice big area of land that we can use for planting. I do have plans for combining certain fields as we progress, and repurposing other fields, but for now I'm going to try and keep it a little bit simple. So I'll continue to rip this up, and I'll come back to you in a little while. There's something immensely satisfying, I think, about ripping up a grass field. with a plough like this, turning it into a piece of workable land. I think it's the closest you get to. I don't know. I mean, part of me wishes that this is how we got fields. You know, when we buy a new field, it comes like this, and we have to rip it up as part of the preparation of owning it. But I can see I can see why we don't have fields like that. I mean, it would completely negate the whole mission system that we have now. But I like this ripping up, you know, a grass field like this to turn it into a workable piece of land. And I wish that we had the option of that, or you know, it would pop up every now and again. We could buy a field like this to rip up. I mean, all the fields that we buy in game off other farmers, yeah, almost, yeah, unless it's a mod map, almost all of them are pretty much just workable fields, and they come in whatever state they're in when you buy them. So either ready to harvest or ready to plough, or you know, needing fertilizing, whatever state it's in whenever you buy it, depending on its sort of growth cycle. Some mod maps will obviously have grass fields that you can buy. Colborough, the previous home of Massey Manor, had a lot of those, but I kind of wish that we had the ability to, we had a bit of variety, so that, you know, we could actually buy a grass field, you know, a good sized grass field like this, and just rip it up and turn it into a crop field. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section below. Okay, so the main bulk of this field is done. We've just got this little side piece here to complete, and then we'll have another really nice big sized field for us to plant on. We'll probably do the same on field G2 as well, the other side of 4 over there. But yeah, plenty of land for us to be planting on. Try and get a nice big harvest. Also gives us a bit more flexibility with what we can plant. The more land that we have that we can plant on, you know, the bigger variety of crops we can do per harvest, or we can just go for broke and plant one single grain and just get as much of it as we possibly can. And there we go. The field is done. So let's check. No red patches, so we've caught everything on there. That's good to see. So we have 2 large masses of land here that have been ploughed. This is going to be the next one up as well. Obviously we've already ploughed field 1 as well. Field 10 I'm going to ignore for now, and 15 I'm probably going to grass 15 out. So I've got some more grass that again is close to the biogas plant. 17 is going to get grassed as well. And possibly, well, this is a grass field up here as well. So we'll have plenty of grass that we can attack there to load up our biogas plant. Not sure what I'm going to do with 16 yet. I'll have to have a think about that. But I'm going to plough out this field as well, so that we have crops nice and around our farm just here. And then let's see, how much is field 3? Field 3 is 82,000, so I think what I might do is take out a loan. We've got 100,000 of debt so far. Let's borrow some money, and let's buy this field as well. There we go. So we'll have this as a crop field as well. So we'll have a nice sort of selection of fields around our farm that we can plant on. So before we plough the next field, which will be that grass field G2, before we plough that, let's get our harvest out of the way. so that we can plough that field as well. So I'm just going to park this up just here, out of the way. There we go. So we're going to need our combine, and we're also going to need one of our tractors and our trailer as well. So yeah, unfortunately we don't have a suitable old style combine to use other than this one. It's the wrong brand. This is Case. There is no old school Massey combine yet. I am hopeful that there will be one in the future from Black Sheep. They did say that they wanted to update the pack that they've already released, and they were working on a second pack as well, which to me I think suggests that they are going to add in at least one combine, maybe two if we're lucky. I think probably just the one. And I think we're definitely going to get a corn seeder as well. Which one's this one? This is the 600 series. Yeah, this is the one we want. In fact, let's use our other 600, our two-wheel drive one. We haven't used that yet. So we don't want the weight. Let's drop that. And we don't need these pallet forks, so we'll put these up here out of the way. Like that. There we go. And let's detach the front loader as well. There we go. So now we need a trailer. Now we've got the smaller of the two, the single axle trailer. This is going to be our grain trailer. So 10,000 litre capacity. There we go. And this should cover that entire field. I mean, it's soybean, so it's not a high value or not a high volume crop. And on top of that, it hasn't been fertilized either, and it's on unploughed ground. So the yield is going to be, you know, the absolute minimum yield that we could possibly get. Oops. There we go. Unfold, lower. Turn on. Let's harvest this field. Because it's such a low yield, I don't want to miss anything at all, so make sure we get every single little bit of soybean on this field. We do have a little bit in our silos already, so this will be a nice little boost to supplement what we already have. But we'll put a headland in. Is that soybean down there? What is that down there? It's wheat. What is wheat doing just there? Bizarre. I know that they made some changes to the map when they updated it and added in the expansion, but that's a little bit odd to see a little tuft of wheat just there. So let's go around, put our headland in, and then we can start going up and down the field. So, we've got our headland in place. It's entirely possible that we can actually do the entire field on a single combine. It's not a it's not a massively big field. And as I mentioned earlier, it's a very low yield on this field. Well, we've got the trailer just over there, just in case we do actually need to unload. I'm missing. I hate in-cab harvesting because I always miss bits. But people do ask to see it, so I do try and do it where I can. It's easier with a smaller combine because you can, in some respects, because you can see, more of the header. So in theory, it's a little bit easier to position, but it's still tricky, without guidelines. It's pretty tough. I mean, row crops are much easier to manage, but you can place your combine specifically where the in between the rows. It's very easy to see where you are. It's not so easy on a crop like this, or canola, or even wheat and barley for that matter. It's very hard to actually tell if you're going in a straight line. See, look, again, missing stuff. There we go. I think I'll probably finish the rest of the field like this, just so I can make sure I'm not missing anything. Not much of the field left now, and as you can see, just around 4,000 litres in the tank. This can hold over 6,000, so yeah, we're not going to need to unload to finish this field. Very low harvest, but that's what we expected. It's, as I say, it's an unploughed field, unfertilised crop. This is the lowest possible yield on the smallest yielding crop, so it was always going to be a very small amount. But it all adds up. As I say, we do have... how much do we actually have in storage? We have 10,000 in there already, so this will probably give us, 5,000 in total. Looks like we've got a little strip over there that we've missed. Where we've... if we just go over that sort of land that looks as though it's been harvested, there's a thin strip. I'm not going to bother because it'll be like 1 or 2 beans that we get out of that in total. A little bit of barley. Oh no, that's the wheat. We've got some barley on the ends of this field as well. Just a little tuft that seems to be indestructible. So we might have to rip that up with a plough just to get rid of it. There it is. You can just see there on the edge of the path, that little tuft of barley just there. And there's that strip, look. You can just see those little yellow flashes that indicate where there is some sort of hidden crop, because we didn't quite catch the line right with our harvester. I'm not going to bother with those, I'll just leave them be. I'm not even going to hit 5,000. Look, 4,500 is going to be a stretch, I think. There we go, that is it. 4,450. There's the grand amount of our harvest. Well, now we have a nice additional field there that we can plough and seed and work on our next round of harvesting. On the previous version of the map, before they expanded it, I did actually have that field there, that G2 field, and that field there combined into a single field. Obviously, when they did the expansion and they added that large grass field of G13, which is behind us, and that added a path, a permanent path, which can't be removed. So those fields will now stay separate. They'll literally just have that path and a very thin strip of land additionally separating them. I'm gonna shortcut over the wall here. There we go. But yeah, you can see here, it's one of these dirt roads that have been put in. They actually added that in just here as well. This didn't used to be here until they added the expansion. There used to be kind of a little bit of mud and some grass sort of tufted up through the mud, but they actually added in a physical dirt road here, and that can't be removed. It's the same with, if we pull up the map, it's the same with over here. I used to, on my original version of this map, I used to have G7 and 5 ploughed together into a single field as well. But then when they added in this section round here, they added in a dirt road here, and again, it's a permanent dirt road. So when I updated and loaded up my original save file, this field was still connected together, but it had this dirt road just stuck through the middle of it that couldn't be removed. So it kind of spoilt that field there. But here we go, here's our soybean crop and our little two-wheel drive. I had to have a little two-wheel drive, it's just something completely new. Looks awesome. Oh, we've got a tip fill animation. Oh no, there it is, look, at the back. Is that out of a grain door then? Let's open up the help menu. Yeah, it's tipping from a grain door. Okay, so let's just try it normally. There we go, that's better. I thought the animation was broken, but this was tipping out the grain door. Again, it's that little small window hatch just there. Alright, so let's go put our trailer away, park our tractor back up, and then back to the ploughing. If we can get all of the ploughing done in this episode, then when we come back next week, we'll be able to start planting and fertilising and getting everything else done. So we'll park this up just here. There we go. A random bark from a chicken there. And now we'll plough up these two fields here as well and get all those ready as well. So I shall be back in just a moment. Okay, so with this big hump that was added in with the expansion to the map, it kind of makes it very, very difficult to do much. So combine is going to struggle with that. Planter is definitely going to struggle with that. So I think we're going to basically lose the end part of this field and just leave it grass for now. Like so. I can't really think what else we can do with that. Right, yeah, at this point. We may end up putting this field back to grass at some point in the future. But for now, I just want to get some extra crops in. So let's carry on with the ploughing and let's tear up this field. Alright, we are just about done with this field, and we are done with this episode as well. Been a lot of ploughing done today. We've crammed about 4 hours worth of ploughing into a 30-minute episode here. Just got these last 2 passes to do, and then this field will be done. So next episode we will look at planting on our fields, getting some crops underway, get some fertilization done, and then we'll start looking at maybe working on some of our fields that are a little bit further away, maybe getting some more silage going as well. It's going to be a busy week for Massey Manor next week, so be sure to tune in next Monday for the next episode of the series. Don't forget you can also check out some of my other series as well. Big Bud Farm is still going strong, twice a week. American Outback and Fent Farm are once a week. Great series for both of those two there, so be sure to check those out. Thanks for watching. I'm Jim Bob, and I'll catch you back on the farm very soon.